Yeah. Coming for glory. We ready for war. The city's behind us. We giving you more. We ready whenever. The world is watching. The time is now. No other option. No other way. Play to win the way that we play. Destined for greatness. Born to be great. Ahead of the game. In front of the pack. Leading the way. It's time to reign. The kingdom's here. This is our year. Been to the bottom. Ain't nothing to fear. We running the game. Rush in the field. For every yard. On every play. Nobody's safe. Rise when we fall. But never stay down. The champs is here. Doing it for the town. This is our moment. This is our time. The time is now. It's time to rise. This is our moment. This is our time. Time is now. Time to rise. It's time to rise. This is our time. It's our moment. It's our time. Feet in the dirt. Nose to the ground. Like the crack of dawn. You can't stop the shine. Moment after moment. Day after day. It's our time. Lock and loaded, it's time for war. Ha. Tear down, kick in the door. Yeah, I want it all, give me some more. Ha. I want it all, give me some more. I want it all, give me some more. Yeah. Kill them all, it's time for war. It's time for war. Like pandemonium, I set it off. Yeah. Sacrifice, I bear the cross. Legendary, I'm a big dog. Hard knock on the front line. Pure blood, my bloodline. Headshots the first time. My aim good, bullseye. Warfare. Don't play fair, don't play fair. You not sure? Don't go there, I'm right here. No fear, I'm ready to go at top speed. No brick wall can block me. No army can stop me. Yeah, I want it all and I can't lose. I came far and I won't stop. This my time, I pay dues. Yeah, it's war time and I won't retreat. I want it all, give me some more. I kill them all, won't taste defeat. Nah. Now bow down at the king's feet. It's time for war. I want it all, give me some more. Kill them all, it's time for war. Kill them all, it's time for war. It's time for war.
Motor Speedway, you're looking live at practice Thursday in preparation of the NASCAR Charlie Powell Memorial South Carolina 400 weekend, the 30th edition. We welcome you to coverage of Thursday practice session and our first show of two on the Community Radio Network, Fox Sports Radio Carolinas, and of course joining us on the Florence Motor Speedway and LSRTV Productions. I am Wesley Outland. We've got Terry Radford alongside somewhere down in the pit area as the excitement is building, getting ready for this prestigious late model stock car event. It's already been one of the biggest races since 1993 when it was originally ran at the dormant now Myrtle Beach Speedway in what was known as the Myrtle Beach 400. Now, since 2020, Steve and Jacqueline Zacharias and their misfits and team of officials have brought this amazing race right here to Florence Motor Speedway, and paying homage and respect to one of the great promoters of the South, from NASCAR to short track racing, Charlie Powell, and making this event the memorial. There's over 56 drivers signed in that are attempting to make the drive for the big 200-lap finale come up Saturday night. Remember, the only way to check out the coverage of this event beginning tomorrow night and Saturday is with the folks at Pit Road TV and Flow Racing. Go to Flow Sports, go to flowracing.com. Check out the coverage. And now let's go down to the pit area with some of the great technology that we have today. This is how we're doing it. Let's go to the pits and let's join the second member of our broadcast crew, as well as Charles Wooten joining us in Texas, manning the boards with Jeff Stabnow for Racing Rocket Media, and Savannah, Georgia's Terry Radford. Good afternoon. How pumped up are you in the pits for the South Carolina 400 weekend?
I'm tickled pink. I tell you, this is super fun. I went over there to the concession stand, got a pretty good burger here at Florence Speedway. I had a conversation over here with David Roberts. He's ready in the car. Look at him down here. He's ready. He's ready for practice. You gonna win this weekend?
Man, we're gonna give it our best shot. We're gonna run the white car and the limited here tomorrow afternoon, and we're gonna try to make this into a big show on Saturday. We ready? Got our work cut out. Yeah, I think we're pretty good.
You go put the practice laps down here. You go out there and give her hell.
Oh yeah. You got to drive 100% every time, so you know what you got. So I'm old school, so I drive as hard as I can everywhere.
That's what I like to hear. Good luck out there, brother.
Thank you.
Got a couple drivers out here just walking up and down here, having a little fun.
So, Terry, it sounds like your mic is back using the external mic again. So if you can go back to the setting and get your mic back working properly, that would be great. And obviously, before I do let you go, though, what is the atmosphere and the excitement like right now in the pit area? It's got to be electric as they get ready for racing, buddy.
Well, everybody's already lined into their cars. You got Dale Jr.'s car out here ready to go. You got Carson Quaffel's car ready to go. Everybody's out here ready. They're electric. The cars have been rolling for about 2 hours now. Everybody's in their fire suit. Drivers, team members are ready to go. All these flow racers. Look at all these people right here ready to go. Everybody ready to go? Yes, sir. Let's go.
That is the Mark Works team out of Virginia. That's Mark Works, the team out of Virginia. Never count them out. One tough customer. They should do a really good job.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, I've been watching a bunch of these drivers. They've been out here underneath their car, working on it on their own, lifting the back ends up, getting everything going. You got Matt Cox over here in that Aaron's 51. See if we can catch a word with him, actually.
Yeah, if you don't mind, flip your camera around, because I think that's what's causing the mic issues from going from an external mic to the professional NASCAR home tracks mic, and you're messing up the audio. We don't need to have you on camera. Just show the cars and the drivers. So we'll let him get that adjustment done real quickly. You want to bring us? Not yet. Bring us back up here to the tower. We'll let him make his adjustment real quick, and we will be back with Terry in just a few moments. Just let us know whenever he's connected back and ready. Again, as I mentioned, 56 drivers are ready to go here. You heard from David Roberts. We're going to talk to some other drivers. And Terry Radford, we're going to go back down to you in the pit area, because I'm going to give you about 5 minutes or so. Quit changing your cameras. Just give us the atmosphere of the cars and grab some interviews along the way as we continue our coverage of Finish Line Live from the South Carolina 400 for Thursday practice, my friend.
Well, I got Matt Cox down here, and he got that Aaron's 51 machine looking pretty good. You ready to win this?
Yeah, I think we got a decent shot, I think. Yeah, we ran pretty good here in years past. And, it's been pretty good. This is a new year, though, so new things happen, and just got to be around at the end. We'll see how we are. It's a new race car here. Never turned the last year with it, so we'll see how it shakes out. Hopefully it'll be pretty good.
How excited are you to race with Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
Yeah, it's big. He's done a lot with short track racing. He still does a lot with short track racing. To have him in the field, someone that's accomplished what he's accomplished is pretty special. That's one thing. I probably never thought I'd race in a race against him or with him, and it's going to happen this weekend. And just appreciative for everything he's done for the race this weekend and short track racing in general.
I appreciate your time, buddy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's Matt Cox right there. I saw a keister
So
right
I
here.
want you to do me a favor real quickly. Terry, I want you to pull out the mic and the cable. I want you to reset your VMix, and I want you to leave your settings alone, and we'll be back with him in just a few moments as Terry, or we'll be back with Terry in a few moments. Everybody, came on the air a few minutes because we wanted to make sure we had all the technology stuff based out of the way. We want to make sure the microphones and all that stuff is working properly as well, as we want to grab driver interviews. But the most important thing of all is we want to make the drivers be heard. We want to make sure our technology is right. So quit changing camera angles. Quit pulling out the microphone cables. Hopefully we'll get a working microphone, and we'll be able to be back with Terry Radford here in just a few moments. Again, we were by the way, we need to take the Flow Racing logo down on the top right, because this is not a Flow Racing broadcast. I just want to emphasize on that. And the way that we have that logo up there, it makes people think it's a Flow Racing broadcast. I just had 2 or 3 people message me about that. Watch on Flow Racing Friday and Saturday. That's what we need to put out there. We can promote Flow Racing. I'm going to make the Flow family happy, but we can't make it like it's a Flow production with that logo up there on the top right. Definitely that might make people say something, and I don't want that in any way. We want to say thanks to Flow Racing again, as they will have the broadcast coverage of the on-track activity beginning tomorrow night, leading up to the South Carolina 250 to Saturday's South Carolina 400. Let's go back down to the pits, I believe. Terry Radford, and if you need to make some adjustments or fix something, please come back up here to the table. We'll make sure Charles, we want to make sure we got him back with us in the pit area. And Terry, and we can hear you now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're getting me on the iPhone or you're getting me there, but these cars are starting to get ready to go. Everybody's going to start backing out here soon. We got like at 2 o'clock, we're going to kick off our practice. We're going to go around this track right here. So you got the owner running around. Everybody's doing their thing.
So I'll tell you this much, Terry, if you can be a little bit more higher with the camera, just kind of show us some of the cars here. And again, I think the microphone's working good now as we see the Cars Tour champion Carson Kvapil. There's Ryan Glinsky, Mark Wertz in 55. Just some of the drivers that we're seeing here. Just kind of give us a rundown the pit lane real quick, brother.
Well, right now you got Ryan Glinsky coming off on pit road to 28, and the 09's out there as well. They're starting to pull off, get in line to get ready to open this track up and be live to go for practice.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're just going to let you go down in the pits. Let's go full screen with Terry Radford live in the pit area right now. And he's just going to introduce some of the cars and maybe grab some interviews and whatnot. So, Terry, you got about 5 minutes to have some fun down there. Everything's working properly, brother.
You see some of the drivers coming out of the haulers here in the 55. You see the 94 driver coming out. All the drivers getting into the cars, getting ready to strap in. You see these truck guys back here as well, getting ready to go. The 18, the 02, the 54. Look at this. I think this is the most beautiful car in the track.
Brendan Queen from Virginia, from Chesapeake, Virginia. Butterbean Brendan Queen out there. That's that 03 car, buddy.
Yeah, 03 looks hot, man. You got all these drivers getting ready to go. I mean, Mark's ready to go here. You got kids out here getting ready to race.
Hey, go grab Mark Wertz. He's always great to talk to him. Tell him Wesley Outlet said hi. He knows who I am.
Yeah, see if we can grab him, actually. He's debriefing with the crew here.
Just wait,
hey, Wesley Outlet said he wanted to talk to you. All right. How's the car?
Well, I'm about to find out. Got the Corvette parts down there, Keen Parts. Dunkin' Donuts, J&J Demolition Chevrolet here, ready to try to see how she shakes down today in practice and see where we fit in for the race. So today ought to be pretty interesting, learning how to tweak and massage the race car.
Well, I saw you talking to your guy over there. You were starting to tell him that thing might have been a little loose. This track, man, it's wore out. What are you going to do?
Well, definitely going to have to be working on shock adjustments and rear spring selections and stuff like that, and just kind of massage the car till it settles in where it needs to be. It's definitely a tricky racetrack, has a ton of character, It builds good racing, so the fans are going to be in for some excitement.
I tell you what, last lap, you're sitting second. You got one of these young kids out in front. You going to the outside and selling it in there?
We'll have to see how the situation plays out.
I like that answer. Thanks, boss.
Yeah, take it.
Got more drivers out here getting ready to go? That's a good interview.
Yeah, Mark Wirtz is always a great guy to catch up with. By the way, again, there you go. Watch the race on Flow Racing again Friday and Saturday from the South Carolina 400. Hey, there's some more of these cars getting in lined up, getting them into stage. Hey, grab Chris Throckmorton. He's always a great interview. The Strut Masters, number 63, coming off of a pretty good finish in the Fall Spectacular 400 at Florence at Dillon Motor Speedway, the 63 car right there in front of you. See if you can grab Chris Throckmorton and get his thoughts on things here.
Well, let's see if we can find him. I think he's inside his trailer. That is a beautiful car, though.
Yeah, Chris Throckmorton, that Chevrolet number 63, never count him out. Number 7 machine. I'll tell you what, Terry, your mic and video's working good. Try to be a little bit more steady with the camera, but maybe just go down the midsection of pit lane, buddy, and just show some of the race cars off as we were getting ready for cars to line up and go on the track for practice.
Yeah, let's walk up and down here. You got the 95 here at Yarborough?
Yes, Sam Yarborough, yep.
There's the 19 right under. There's the 1. 99's coming out. Here's that 11 machine of Brinkley.
Blaze Brinkley, former champion out of Sanford, North Carolina at Caraway Speedway. And that number 11 machine.
We got the 17 right here at Millington. (13 to 21). A lot of these drivers getting pretty pumped up to go here for practice number 1 of the weekend. Some of them starting to back out. I think I ain't gonna walk over. I don't want to get hit by one of these cars. You want to go see the concession real quick?
No, we're not worried about concessions right now. Well, let's just show some of the cars in the pit area, brother.
They're backing out on me.
Beautiful looking field of race cars getting ready to go here for this event. And the first practice session also about to go on here.
We'll catch them as they roll here.
And that'll be awesome. Look at all these beautiful looking cars. Terry, you can walk down the pit lane, brother. You can go all the way to where the other cars are. You've got wireless capability.
They're starting to back out.
Just be careful. Just stay to the front of the cars as Yarborough pulls out. Glinski's pulling out.
Got Pebbleton
Look
here.
at these beautiful. Hey, there's Landon Pimbleton, by the way. Landon Pimbleton won the Valley Star Credit Union 300 at Martinsville last year in that Toyota.
That's a good looking field. Look how nice that car looks.
Beautiful looking race car, Pimbleton Forest Products, and by the way, a $35,000 purse added on by Flow Racing. Dale Earnhardt Jr. will be here. Of course, I believe Dale Jr. is going to try to practice sumps this afternoon. He's also scheduled for some obligations with Sirius XM, NASCAR Radio, Sirius Speedway with Dave Moody. By the way, Terry, as you're continuing to show some of these cars, bring me back on set. We're side-by-side multi-screen. I just want to say thank you to the world of NASCAR for the powers that be in the media. As you see the cars behind me start to come on track now. They're getting ready for their first on-track activity of the afternoon with practice about to get underway here. We'll be joining Terry in the pits. We'll be grabbing information and interviews along the way. But right now, the electricity is building here on the Finish Line Live Motorsports show from Florence Motor Speedway as the first cars on the track for the 2022 running of the South Carolina 400. But what I wanted to say was thank you to the NASCAR media, everybody from NASCAR roots to all of the short tracks across America. Thank you also to Flow Racing. And of course, in addition to that, the great folks at Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Sirius Speedway, the morning drive, the front stretch. Everybody has been doing a phenomenal job to promote short track racing like this big race in Florence, South Carolina at the Charlie Powell Memorial. Let's go back down to the pits at Terry Radford.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys want to catch up with the co-owner over here, but
yes,
she's sitting over here. Let's grab a quick interview. Yeah. You got this.
Terry, your camera's got to go higher, brother. You're too low.
She don't want to be on camera yet.
Yeah,
now
she don't want to be on camera.
Here we go. Hey, so this is the big race right here. Cars on the track. How exciting is this?
It's nice to see everything come together. We prepared for it for a long time, so for them to get on the track, it's just getting back to what we do.
It's going to be a big weekend for this speedway right here. How much anticipation's kind of built up about this?
Well, the racing part of it's easy. That's what we're used to. It's managing the crowd and making sure that everyone comes out and has a great experience.
Y'all done a great job so far. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming out.
That is Jacqueline Zacharias, by the way. Jacqueline Zacharias, Steve Zacharias' better half. And of course, we appreciate Jacqueline and all that she does. She's so awesome. We got some professionals here. Thank you to Zach. We've got, of course, Shane Laws with NASCAR, and he'll be the race director. John Spence on the flag stand. Just so many of the awesome people that will be here as the green flag is out for practice here. And for the South Carolina 400, Justin Milliken rolling off. All the sights and sounds. Terry, it's got to be electric in the pit area.
I tell you what, for the first time being at a speedway on the pit road, this is wild electric, baby. Let's go!
Well, it is so awesome to be able to see these cars on the racetrack, and you see now the first on-track activity of the weekend here at the South Carolina 400. There goes Landon Pimbleton, the Martinsville winner. He's on track right now. All these other drivers working on getting practice. They always say practice makes perfect. Well, there's no doubt about it. With these cars on the racetrack, they are working on getting their practice sessions in to prepare for this big event here in Florence, South Carolina. There goes the Ward machine, the 77 car, rolling out. Beautiful looking race cars, 56 signed in, 56 entries here. That's Mason Diaz. That was Mason Diaz out of Val, North Carolina, the Solid Rock Carriers, Prince William Marina Chevrolet for Chad Bryant Racing. That just rolled on track. Terry, I'll tell you what, buddy, going up a little closer to the retaining wall, man. Let's see if we get some speed shots during practice. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? What's going through your mind right now, buddy?
Well, you know, walking up down pit lane right now, all these drivers are happy. There's a whole lot of speed in my ear.
That's so awesome. They're mobile. We're going to get some interviews with drivers. There you go, man. That rush. Won't you just take your phone and stand it right there on the retaining wall and just get the rush of the flyby of all these cars coming by in full song? Oh, it's got to be fun. We do a lot of sim racing on LSRTV and call it. We call it Feel the Roar.
It's a whole lot of energy out here for sure.
Look at all these race cars. Diaz just going by along with Pimbleton. And they're all getting their opportunity now for practice sessions here. How about that? Don't forget the Pill Draw Show Friday, by the way. Watch the race live on Flow Racing Friday and Saturday. Check them out. And by the way, Terry, they've done some nice painting and slapped some lipstick on the racetrack also. It looks really good.
Yeah, you're starting to see some of these drivers go out here and they're trying to scrub some tires, get the tire wear going, get some heat in the track, getting the heat in the track. Couple 44 come on the racetrack for 5 laps and left.
Man, it is so cool. It is so awesome to be able to see what we're seeing right now with these practice sessions. There goes Matt Cox there in the number 51 Aaron's Lisa Reynolds machine behind him. Car number 52 rolling onto the track, getting ready for his practice session. All of these drivers getting settled in, getting ready to go. A fun time, no doubt about it. We're glad you're here. And by the way, that was the number 52 of Mr. Jordan Stillwell. Jordan Stillwell in the Brunswick Rails Stillwell Racing entry out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. Well, Terry, they're coming in. They're making laps. They're entering. They're exiting. There goes the 19. Hollywood Racing entry has just completed his practice session there. The 19 machine, that is Kyle Wood from Mosley, Virginia. There goes the number 5 machine, the Kiker Motorsports Lee William Performance number 5. Of course, that is the new endeavors, I believe, that we're going to see out of. My apologies. That's well, just some of the awesome race cars. Dexter Knipe, Casey Kelly, Bryant Barnhill just coming into the pits.
Yeah, phone over here starting to die.
Did you say your phone's dying?
Stupid iPhone.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we just started.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you see some of the more activity. Terry, I'm going to let you take it away again, brother, as we watch more cars roll onto the racetrack. There goes the Causey entry, number 59, ready to take time.
Yeah, you said 11 of Brinkley getting on pit road as well. Hey, there's a driver about to jump inside. That's Josh Berry jumping in the 3.
Hey, talk about that car right there, Terry. There's the car everybody's excited to see.
Yeah, so a little throwback back to Dale Sr. We'll get a shot of the car here for the fans at home. Josh Berry is going to jump inside this number 3 machine, the Bass Pro Shop. Old Jerry Morris and all of them putting this on and letting them run this car.
So that is the Bass Pro Shops number 3. A throwback to when Dale Earnhardt Sr. drove that gold car in the All-Star race in the Winston and Charlotte. It's been over 20 plus years, and it's the 50th anniversary for, of course, Mr. Morris and Bass Pro Shops in their 50th anniversary season. There you see Carson Kvapil alongside Carson Kvapil, the 2022 Solid Rock Carriers Cars Tour champion in the number 8 machine. All these drivers getting ready to strap in. But this driver, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Terry Radford, it has been 22 years since he used to bump and bang and beat, gouge, fight for positions, fights for wins, fight for trophies with Robert Powell, one of the greats in this area, for the NASCAR National Winston Racing Series Championship. Of course, he also raced not only Friday night at Florence Motor Speedway, but Saturday night at Myrtle Beach Speedway, which is now a dormant, shut-down track. There's no place, though, Terry, like coming back home for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
No, you're absolutely right. And you think about coming to a track like this. This is a stomping route for NASCAR all across the board. And this car bringing an iconic 3 back here with the Bass Pro Shops on it, it's a testament to him giving back to iRacing and giving back to the NASCAR community. This right here does it.
The roar, the crescendo of cars as practice rolls on. Let's go join my producer in Texas, Charles Wooten. What's going through your mind right now? This is history in the making of the South Carolina 400 with coverage of Rocket Racing Media and LSR Productions from a real racetrack.
Yeah, I just want to point out, I don't know if Terry can hear me, but, we were looking at those 2 cars there. You have, the iconic Dale Earnhardt Sr. car, old school real racing. Right next to it, you have the next generation new style iRacing for sim racers. 2 completely separate worlds sitting right next to each other at an iconic track. Got to be one of the coolest things I think we've seen here on Finish Line ever.
You see my guy right here, Butterbean, getting ready to go. Nice car. Goes Mr. Craig. He's all locked in right here. He's going to go out there for his first practice lap.
And Matt Gregg, one of those drivers that have also been really good in the super late model world. Also Terry. So now in a late model stock, Matt Gregg at a Concord.
Yes, sir.
Man, you gotta love the sights and sounds of those race cars. There's Milliken's car. Milliken in 02. Just one of these drivers amongst the others that are here. And by the way, Terry, we got super trucks. Speaking of super trucks,
we got trucks.
The Northwest Truck Series Championship tonight at Homestead, live from here at Florence Motor Speedway. We'll be doing the broadcast, but pardon the pun, trucks are here.
That's right. That's Ralph Karn's truck.
If you want to bring us back here real quickly, I just want to come in and acknowledge our audience. We'll be back with Terry Radford in the pits in just a moment. I'm Wesley Outland. Terry Radford is behind me patrolling the pit area with our coverage here on the Thursday practice day of the South Carolina 400. We had some technical glitches. Who would? This is a new endeavor, and there's a lot of people watching. Charles, I know you got to be probably tingling right now. Probably one of the biggest audience bases for a broadcast since the inception of a decade of LSR Productions.
Yeah, I definitely am. You know, the last count, there was around 400 people watching. We've had more than that before, but there was a sim race, which is our main goal on the channel, obviously, for now. And, you know, that was, I think, like a 3,000 to win sim race with 120 people on it. So for this being a real life event, which is typically not what LSRTV does on the channel, I'm just tickled to death. You know, I might need a Whataburger after this just to celebrate.
Yeah, I love me some Whataburger. I wish there was a Whataburger. But hey, speaking of burgers, though, Terry Radford, the concession stand is always great down in the pit area for sure.
Hey, if I'm allowed to walk over there, I sure will. They had a really good burger over yonder.
You know what? We might save the concession for later. Why don't you well, you're right there amongst everything that's happening there in the pit area. So we see Yarborough, we see Cox, we see teams working on their race cars. What type of things are going on in the pit area right now, Terry, that you can give us as an observation as we go back full screen from the pits here in Florence, South Carolina?
Well, so far you've seen a lot of drivers come in. They were complaining about being too loose. You've seen a couple shock adjustments. Drivers over there, and the 18 had a shock in his hand, ready to put one in. I saw one person putting a little bit more of a packer in. You see them over here. They went out. The 11 went out for its first run. They're underneath it, trying to get the shocks going, trying to lift it up off the ground a little bit. You see the shock right here that they've got in his hand. He's starting to get a new one in there. It's a little cool, a little bonded. There's a lot of adjustments, Wesley.
There's the number 18 machine getting ready to roll on track now. That is our buddy Anthony Adams from Simpsonville, South Carolina. That's the V6 conveyor. Adams racing entry, never count him out. And there's some more of these race cars. There's, of course, what a field. ABC hosiery machine down there. He's the one that kind of made some history at Martinsville, if you remember. In that car number 21 machine. That's the Grady, Andrew Grady out of Youngsville. And if you remember at Martinsville, he got a little frustrated with the driver down there in the pit area. There's Bobby June, Tobaccoville USC entry from Darlington, South Carolina. So awesome to see all of these cars. Grady, June, others coming down here and practicing. There's Ryan Glinsky. Quick story about Ryan Glinsky. Cut his teeth in Legends and Bandoleros. And by the way, the first ever big Southeast Limited Late Model Series event was here in Florence, South Carolina.
Let's see if I can
on a
snatch
hot 100-degree July 4th afternoon. And after 23 caution flags, Ryan Glinsky was the winner. Let's go down, and he joins Terry Radford right now. Ryan Glinsky from Mooresville.
How's that car running?
Very good. It feels good. Just happy to be out here enjoying the day. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. I just can't thank everybody enough. Jay Hedgecock, PME, and Paul Andrews
Terry, we
for
can't
getting
see
this
the
thing
driver.
going.
There you
Feels
go.
real good. We tested last week, just ran a couple laps, and it's doing what I want. So maybe make one more run later in the day and see what happens tomorrow.
Any quick adjustments you can make to this car inside of it as a driver to kind of figure out what you're doing?
Well, just me personally, I'm just over driving it as usual. So I got that out of the way. Now I can back it up and make the corner the right way instead of over driving it. But yeah, I got a couple things in my back pocket. Maybe put a little bar load in it and fool the track bar. And other than that, it's just fine tuning. It's damn close. So really looking forward to Saturday night running 200 laps and see what we got.
Best of luck to you out there, man. That's Ryan Glinsky.
Well, there you go, and we appreciate that. Ryan Glinsky out of Mooresville, North Carolina. What a opportunity he just put down in, hands down. Keep an eye on this driver. He will be somebody to watch.
Yeah,
starting to quiet down a little bit. There, what you got, Terry?
Oh, well, I was watching his team, actually. They're cooling the engine down right now. They made 3 or 4 adjustments to it, and he looked pretty solid. He looked comfortable coming out of the car.
And by the way, Josh Berry, one of the championship 4 finalists out of Hendersonville, Tennessee for the Xfinity Series for Junior Motorsports, is on track right now in that number 3 Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet, shaking it down for Dale Earnhardt Jr., who will be driving that car in the attempt to make the 30th South Carolina 400. All of these drivers on the racetrack again. There you see him again, the number 3, and the 2-time Daytona 500 champion, host of Dirty Mode Media and the Dale Jr. Download. And you think of iRacing, it's only fitting, Terry, to talk about the story of Josh Berry. Josh Berry got his career started in iRacing to become a real race car driver, and so has 2-time and defending winner of this race since it's been at Florence Motor Speedway, Seymour, Wisconsin's Ty Majeski as well, who's going to try to go for that 3rd South Carolina 400 trophy this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the work that Dale Jr. does when it comes to iRacing and giving drivers an opportunity to go race for real life from the platform. He's just an ambassador across the board. And speaking of iRacing, you know, a lot of these drivers walking up down pit road are talking about what they learned on iRacing. You know, this track is very similar, Florence Motor Speedway here, to what it is on iRacing. It was scanned in at the exact same time. There's a couple more cracks on the road. You see the pavement right here, where it's starting to crack right here. And, you know, you have to fill in holes.
We're going to come back up here topside from our broadcast position, and we're going to come back here in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. We've got more coverage from Florence, South Carolina. Florence Motor Speedway, the Charlie Powell South Carolina Memorial 400 weekend live on Flow Racing, and we continue our coverage of Thursday practice, the only coverage here from Timminsville in the Palmetto State when we return after our break.
Your CRN, my CRN, our CRN. We are CRN. The Community Radio Network now and the new WCRN 87.9 FM. And still always anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN. Welcome to the Community Radio Network. Follow us always via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the new CRN 87.9 and still anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models, and they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
Your CRN, my CRN, our CRN. We are CRN. The Community Radio Network now and the new WCRN 87.9 FM. And still always anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN. Welcome to the Community Radio Network. Follow us always via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the new CRN 87.9 and still anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
So this is our best opportunity to show you what's going on track here from our broadcast position. We've had to recharge some of our batteries and reset for Terry Radford down in the pits. But we're just showing you some of the sights and sounds of these cars on the racetrack as we see all of these machines getting ready to get lined up. Here comes now the number 03, three-time Langley Speedway track champion of the late models. He will be joining Lee Pulliam Performance in 2022. Justin Johnson just went by the way. Milliken. All of these cars going into the pit area as we welcome you back to our coverage on the Finish Line Live Motorsports show. But there is Butterbean Brendan Queen and a beautiful field of these race cars still continuing. I just had a race fan come up to me, Charles, and say, "Take care of yourself, Wesley. It's always good seeing you, man. Take care of yourself." We're having fun, Charles. We're at a racetrack, right, brother?
Yes, always having a blast. You know, what is that saying? A bad day at a racetrack's better than a good day in the office or something like that?
That's exactly right. And I'm enjoying what I'm doing for my job. It's not work. As I tell people, it's not work. By the way, we just want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you care, you must share. Share this. We'll have more coverage coming up later on in the afternoon. I'm trying to, if you don't mind, get a little bit closer. As you can see, when you're live, you're live. And we're doing this in real time here. By the way, want to throw that out there. Flow Racing is the only place that has coverage of the on-track racing activity beginning tomorrow. So again, thank you to Flow Racing. Landon Pimbleton, Brendan Queen on the racetrack. Oh, and by the way, Terry, Charles, I'm going to try to hook up timing and scoring real quickly and see if we can be able to give you some times that are being put down by some of these drivers on track, my friend.
Yeah, I gotta love timing and scoring, you know, be able to just pull out your phone and whip it out and just boom, right there, all that data at your fingertips. Not sure if they use my race pass here, but definitely if they do, that is by far one of the best programs ever invented.
Yeah, I'm a fan of my race pass. I'm not going to lie to you. But by the way, go to Race Monitor and go to South Carolina 400. By the way, some of these drivers are not officially on transponders. But how about this right now? Carson Quapple 17.914. 17.914 for Carson Quapple. He is the 2022 Solid Rock Carriers Cars Tour late model stock champion. Striving for Junior Motorsports, Carson Quapple. There's Landon Pimbleton again, as I mentioned, the Martinsville winner. Brendan Queen, car number 1. All of these drivers on track. Justin Milliken from Charlotte, North Carolina in the 02. And just taking in some of the practice here. Terry Radford is recharging his batteries. He'll be back to join us very, very soon, but somehow, some way, we're giving you some opportunity to check out what's happening. Here comes the 09. J-Mac Fabrication, number 09, back on track as he gets ready to tangle Thursday practice here. By the way, don't forget tonight, Finish Line live later on this afternoon. In addition to that, we will also have iRacing on LSRTV and the Community Radio Network from Championship Night.
Wesley, you know,
Carson Quapple.
You were talking about the fans. Wesley, you were talking about all the fans out there that are tuning in. I was sitting here looking at a big shout out to everyone that shared this. I know you talked about sharing it. Obviously, me and you have shared it. We got Mike Speed Shop, Talking Racing with Mike Ray, Mason Johnson, Mike Queen, Jessica Michelle Cox, Candy Melton, Kenny Bradshaw, Florence Motor Speedway themselves. All these people out there sharing it for us. You say you share care. Well, they're sharing, Wesley.
Thank you so much, Mike Ray. Great friend. There comes Matt Cox back on track in that number 51 Aaron Sells Leeson Reynolds entry. And he'll get ready to put a lap down here on the track, the number 51 machine. And Matt Cox, no doubt, one of the best here from Long, South Carolina. He has won here before at Florence Motor Speedway. And we're just seeing what he can do. Brandon Pierce. There goes Matt Cox, some speed now. Brandon Pierce. Brendan Queen. Here comes another 99 back on track. That's not Lane Riggs. Oh, and by the way, the fans, Charles, free grandstand admission, and they have added more seats for people to be able to check out what's going on here. It's Matt Cox and more on the racetrack. Tim Allensworth in the car number 21, a former Ohio state champion of that car number 21, just going by the start-finish line. Tim Allensworth out of Bladensboro, North Carolina, originally from Ohio in the Speedy Bees Car Wash entry. Number 21, there he goes right there, and there's also Andrew Grady in the 21 ABC hosiery car. So we're seeing a lot of talented drivers here now, Charles, being ready to make laps here in practice. And they always say practice makes perfect.
Practice definitely makes perfect. And, you know, I think I have a Flow account, but not. I'm definitely going to have to get a Flow Racing account so I can watch this because just watching practice, you know it's going to be a good race.
Yarborough there in the 95. Matt Cox at 51. The 09 machine also on track. We'll see what kind of laps they put down here as we continue along with our practice session here of session 1. Man, what a beautiful field of these cars. 57 entries, by the way. 57 entries ready to go for this historic event here at the Florence Motor Speedway, the 30th running of the Charlie Powell Memorial South Carolina 400. It'll be live on Flow Racing. Here comes Carson Quapple back out on track of the number 8 machine. So Carson Quapple getting ready to hit track again. But I'll tell you what, we're definitely enjoying this, Charles. Man, how cool is this to experience this from Texas? And by the way, I want to say thank you to not only Charles, but also Jeff Statnow and the powers that be with Rocket Racing Media. That's a new endeavor that's starting out, and it's going to be working with real events like this race. This is one of the lid lifters, like the South Carolina 400. There goes Blaze Brinkley, a friend of mine out of Sanford, a champion at Caraway. He raced at Wake County Speedway earlier in the year. Carson Quapple, the number 8 machine, back out on track again. And a big shout out for iRacing. iRacing tonight on LSRTV and the Community Radio Network for the championship finale, for the championship race for the Northwest Truck Series at Homestead. 4 drivers will battle for a championship tonight. And we will be doing it live from the press box, or at least at this location from Florence Motor Speedway. And, you know, Charles, real racing, sim racing, virtual racing, they go hand in hand.
Yeah, they definitely do. And I just got a random question because, Wesley, I come up with these random questions during these podcasts, but I do notice the cars are going what seems to be the normal direction around this racetrack. But if you pan the camera to the left a little bit, I saw what looked to be a light. You saw the green, yellow, and red light, but it's facing the opposite direction. Does this track have another purpose as well? Maybe a drag strip or something on it?
So this used to be the location with this stoplight. I'll explain it to you. Obviously, you see the Willing Engineering lights. They're right there. They are illuminated whenever the cautions come out. They're red and green whenever the flagman turns the lights on. So you see the Willing lights. They're active. They're working. These stoplights right here, back in the day, they used to be opportunities to tell people when this part of the grandstand area was closed off, meaning that the red light's on, you can't cross over the racetrack. The yellow light's on, meaning there's a caution. Green means there's racing going on. And the reason why is this entire back area behind the banner here is a parking lot.
In other words, it's the crosswalk.
By the way, coming back out on track. Number 3's coming out. So yeah, to explain that, Charles, to explain it, there's that basically just that lets you know when the pits are, when you can cross over the track or not.
So basically, it's a crosswalk at a racetrack. I've never seen a crosswalk, at a racetrack, but that's exactly the coolest thing. It's the coolest thing ever.
44, number 3, number 18, all these cars back on track again. Matt Craig out of Concord, North Carolina. And it's so awesome to see all of these great drivers and teams. Late model stock car racing is alive and well and thriving here. And this is just the first of our 3 days of coverage. Don't forget, tomorrow night we've got the pit party live on stage. Flow Racing with broadcast coverage Friday and Saturday of the event for the Charlie Powell Memorial South Carolina 400 weekend. Yeah, look at all those race cars moving their way around the racetrack. By the way, real quickly, we'll show you time right now. Carson Quapple, 17.914. Sam Yarborough is second fast. Ryan Glinsky is third. Jamie York is fourth, and Matt Cox the top 5. Jacob Hebner, Dale Earnhardt Jr., which is, by the way, Josh Berry driving that car. Josh Berry will be in the 88 car like he usually is, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. not on track just yet. That was Josh Berry. Zach Miracle is along with Mark Wirtz and Ryan Milliton, your top 10. Butterbean Brendan Queen is 11th. Riley Gentry 12th. Matthew Craig 13th. Austin Severo and Dexter Knight Jr., your top 15. David Roberts is 16th. Jamie Weatherford 17th. Cody Kelly 18th. Justin Milliken 19th. Isabella Robusto a talented female up in the Hickory, North Carolina area, is right now the 20th fast car. The Martinsville winner from last year, Landon Pimbleton, 21st, and Blaze Brinkley, Caraway Speedway late model champion, 22nd. Riley Music, 23rd. The young man, Tristan McKee, the limited late model winner at Hickory at the Fall Brawl last Saturday, is in the 7 car. He's 24th. And another driver, Whitney Meggs, who's been on finish line before. The 41 machine in the top 25. Justin Whitaker, Heath Causey, Anthony Adams, Cade Brown, the late model champion at Florence here for 2022. And 30th is Mike Darn, the Virginian. Travis Truitt, Dylan Smith, Kyle Wood, Jordan Stillwell, 34 of 57 NASCAR late models that have been on track so far, and Carson Quapple at the top of the board there, Charles.
Yeah, and one thing, just because I like the details, since we have this view and we're going to be here all weekend, one view I want to see is over this entire weekend, I'm going to keep an eye on that track, especially in the corners where they're coming in there. And I want to just see how much rubber these cars lay down on the track, because it's going to happen with the full practice and, 2 days of racing. There's going to be some rubber laid down on this track. And I'm kind of interested to see where the groove is going to end up.
Yeah, I don't know if you can tell that or not, but there's, again, some of the rubber that's being put down right now. By the way, the temperature conditions, they're not warm by any means of the imagination as Tim Allensworth now goes by me, but they're not cold. By the way, big race, Southern National, next weekend, $50,000, the Thanksgiving Classic at Southern National. Got to give a shout-out to Michael Diaz, Charlie Hansen, all of the people that are involved in that event. Mike Ray, that will be a big race, no doubt. $50,000 to win at Southern National in Kinley, North Carolina. Definitely a less drive for me to get to Kinley than from Timminsville. And that will be next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. How about that, Charles? $50,000 to win for a late model race.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think I've ever seen $50,000 at one time.
And mind you also, not only is it $50,000 to win, it is also close to $25,000 or $30,000 purse money for lap money, lap sponsor money up for grabs. $500 for 2 or 3 laps, $100 for lap money, a 250 lap race. There's a chance for somebody to possibly walk away with close to $100,000 in their pocket.
You just have to think and ask yourself, Wesley, if you walked away with $100,000, how many Whataburgers could you buy with that?
With $100,000, close to $100,000. Oh, Butterbean, Brendan Queen, 47 behind him. There goes, of course, the AK Motorsports Superior Racing. Cade Brown entry. Oh, maybe some debris. We might have debris. No. They're just sending the safety trucks in. There you go. Hey, by the way, Charles, this stage that is behind me, I'm hosting, doing the camera, and showing you stuff here. But this stage, man, that's behind me, look at this, man. Ain't this cool as hell? This will be the stage for the Finish Line Chicken Bone Alley podcast event that will be the Pill Draw Show. All of these people will be up on the stage for the Pill Draw Show, and that will again be tomorrow right here for the Pill Draw Show, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, if we could pan back to that logo, I'd like to, hopefully maybe the creator of this logo or the track would answer this. And first off, I want to say this is a compliment because I'm a big gamer, and you know that. But this logo, I really, really like it. It looks like the sword off of Halo. And, of course, I was a big Halo player. So I like the logo. I like the design. But that's what it reminds me of, Halo, one of the best games ever made, and here you have their logo looking like it. So I like that logo a lot.
Hey, so listen, we're going to step away. Steve Zacharias, the promoter of Florence Motor Speedway, joins me on set when we return with hour number 2 of our coverage from Finish Line from Florence Motor Speedway. Don't go anywhere. We're back with more in a moment.
Your CRN, my CRN, our CRN. We are CRN. The Community Radio Network now and the new WCRN 87.9 FM. And still always anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN. Welcome to the Community Radio Network. Follow us always via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the new CRN 87.9 and still anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
Your CRN, my CRN, our CRN. We are CRN. The Community Radio Network now and the new WCRN 87.9 FM. And still always anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN. Welcome to the Community Radio Network. Follow us always via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the new CRN 87.9 and still anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
Welcome back to Finish Line. You hear the roar of the cars, the excitement building as practice Thursday underway in the 30th South Carolina Charlie Powell Memorial 400. Along with Terry Radford in the pits, I'm Wesley Outland. Charles Wooten is operating the broadcast for Rocket Racing Media in Wichita Falls, Texas, just outside of Dallas, along with Jeff Stabnow. And joining us is the promoter, track owner of Florence Motor Speedway, along with Jacqueline. We got to work with Jacqueline for about 30 seconds.
No, we're good.
Steve Zacharias is here. Steve, how excited is the build-up, the prep, the preparation, and then it's finally here, the South Carolina 400?
Oh, absolutely. It's been great. Obviously, I'm sure you noticed, I hope you noticed anyways, that there's been a lot of work put in to get this place ready for what is about to happen. Obviously, thanks to Dale Jr., this event became much bigger than it was. I mean, I still think we would have been in the 50s on car count. We were at 53 last year, but as far as the crowd goes, I did a lot of work on things that I wasn't planning on doing because of the fact that there are new people coming, because every time my phone rings, it says, "So can I get tickets to that junior race?" I'm like, "You mean the South Carolina 400? Yeah, sure, you can get tickets." But but these are the first timers, right? So I want to make a good first impression to everyone. So I'm looking forward. I hope they enjoy the show. man, but as a racer, as race fans, as we are,
oh yes,
in the sport, looking back here, and this is Thursday, right? We haven't even gotten to the street stock guys, haven't gotten here. All the limited guys haven't gotten here. All the mini stock guys, the legend guys are all rolling in Saturday. So, I think we've got it pretty well timed out. Where tomorrow we're gonna have a great show with mini stocks running for 2,000, limiteds running for 2,500, street stocks 2,000, and then we come over here to this stage that didn't exist as of 2 days ago. So here we are underneath the roof, and gonna have a band, have a good time, and then draw for some, draw for the qualifying spots, and come back and just get after it again. And but it's gonna work out. This 250 on a Friday and the 400 on a Saturday, I think it's going to play itself out because we're going to have a bunch of legends and bandos, but we can kind of shuffle out the limited to mini stocks, street stocks out the door so that the new group can come in on Saturday. Right. So if you're a race fan, whether you watch it on Flow or you come in and hopefully join us here, if you're a race fan, this is the weekend to be here.
The Skilly Road Band and Skylar Whitfield will be here tomorrow night, and that will be live on our social platforms here from Florence Motor Speedway, as well as with our friend David Rogers and the Chicken Bone Alley podcast. But we got all sorts of special plans. In addition to doing broadcasting, I'm also the NASCAR events coordinator for this event. And you point blank said, Wesley, we wanted to make this be as if not close to what you see in that derby of the Snowball Derby in Pensacola. Obviously, it's took 55, 60 years to make it what they do there. And I've been a part of it on many occasions. But you want the smoke, you want the lights, you want the fog machine, you want everything to make this be a spectacle for years to come, no doubt, in South Carolina.
Absolutely, and we've tried. We tried a lot at Myrtle Beach. A lot of it comes to having good people in the right place. Yourself, doing the coordinating, because I know you've seen me. I could be mounting a tire, I could be cooking, and it's just part of it, right? Like it's not a big deal. It's just I can't stay focused on the big picture stuff because it's the show is great. The drivers have a good time, but I need the fans to want to come have fun because this is supposed to be a big show, right? So it can't just be run of the mill. So that's where the stage comes from. That's where the bands come from. Sure. The pre-race stuff. It's really cool to be a part of it. I'm glad. Obviously the Charlie Powell Memorial, try to keep his name going. Coming from Myrtle Beach, keeping the Myrtle Beach Speedway 400 going. Sure. This whole thing it's a collage of good stuff, right? Like it's good and bad. We lost Myrtle Beach Speedway, so we brought the 400 to Florence Motor Speedway. We lost Charlie Powell, we brought Charlie Powell's name to the 400. So we're trying to make this event where it's something that every year you got marked on your calendar, whether you're a race car driver or a fan that you want to come to.
And listen, for the longest time, Myrtle Beach Speedway on the Grand Strand, it wasn't just an event. It wasn't just a race. It was a weekend. It was a week. Race teams would come down and they'd spend a whole week in South Carolina. You used to run 2 consecutive weekends. Times have changed since post-COVID, and obviously now you bring all of everything into one weekend. But you've got so many racetracks doing events. You got the Fall Brawl, the Battle of the Stars, that obviously, to respect Hickory, they postponed their event to March for next year. You got Southern National next weekend, the 50,000 to win Thanksgiving Classic. A lot of these drivers will leave here in Florence, cut their turkey and dress it, enjoy Thanksgiving, and then go to Southern National for that big race.
Yeah, and with that being said, the thing on the Myrtle Beach side, it was a challenge on this side because Myrtle Beach has the ocean, right? It's got all the fun stuff, the family kingdoms, the medieval times, all the Broadway at the beach, the barefoot landing. Florence, South Carolina is a gem in its own, but it's got different things, right? It's a little bit smaller. So you can't bring the wife to the ocean and let her go shop. That's why Myrtle Beach had that draw. So we had to find a way here to show everyone that this place is just as cool as it was at Myrtle Beach. And technically, it's only an hour and a half, right? So you could still go to the beach. You can still go to the beach. But to your point on all the races, kind of on top of each other, it's a challenge right now. Obviously, tires have been a problem.
Yes.
And then here we are with 5-6 races in the same place. And I said it a couple years ago, and I'm going to stick to it. Is that I was fortunate enough to be grandfathered into the Myrtle Beach 400, which has been 30 years running on this date. So from here forward, this race will be this weekend. You know what I mean? So you want to keep putting car races in front, behind, forwards, on top of. At this point, Myrtle Beach started something, and I'm going to continue that tradition. So you will see the South Carolina 400 the week before Thanksgiving from here on out.
Jason Kitzmiller just went to the top of the board. Now, again, these are just practice times for drivers. that are using transponders unofficially.
Well, this is the limited practice.
Yeah,
so
limited late model
this is your
practice.
limited late model. So they got 45 minutes. Yeah, Garrett, my cousin Garrett Zacharias, he second on the charts right now. He came from the north with running at all the tracks in his super stock.
Yes.
Had a great run at the PD 225 for the first time ever in a limited late model. Got a great team. That's the same car I ran at Martinsville, that 21, and it's a great car. So he's one to be a force to be reckoned with. Boo Dalton.
We got Boo Boo Dalton at the finish line here.
The man, the myth, the legend.
We do. If I had another headset, we joined him. Hey, Boo Boo, join us later on this afternoon from 4 to 6. Come to the stage and see us. Tell your friends. When Dale Earnhardt Jr., how did that all come about? Did he text you? Did he reach out to you? Because I do know that at one time he was talking about going to Dillon. Mm-hmm. He probably might still be for the New Year's Bash or some race next year. But, he wanted to run the Thanksgiving Classic, but it's the holiday. And, family time. And then he made the decision, okay, we're not going to go to this race. We're going to look at Florence.
Right.
How did it all come about to get Junior here?
Well, it's all him. I had nothing to do with it.
And by the way, he's got to race his way in.
Oh, yeah.
If he doesn't make the 40-car field, he's not getting the provisional.
I told him the other day, he texted me, he was saying something about it. I said, you're good, you're in the race. He said, no, I don't want to take anything for granted. He said, I want to race my way in. I said, dude, it ain't about you. I said, I just rebuilt this place. I said, I don't want it tore down. I said, these fans would tear this place down if I didn't put him in.
I retract my previous statement. It's all being jokeable.
Yeah, again, like I said, I've worked really hard to clean this place up. I don't need it tore down. So, so anyways, no, it was all him, man. He really wants to come race. Right? Like I said, it's fortunate for us to have him here and for him to want to use this platform to come do it. But he's excited. He said he wants to race on tracks that are wore out, have a strategy plan for him. It's not just new pavement, going as fast as possible. So it's just, he's coming out on the goodness of his heart. And I've stressed this to everyone I can whenever I'm speaking, is that we should be grateful and we should be indebted to him right now what he's attempting to do for short track racing. He's doing it out of the kindness of his heart, and he's doing it for no other reason than the fact that he loves short track racing. So he's doing this to bring attention to these guys, these drivers. He's the one that got behind bringing the purse up to get the lower end, purse money up. That's all him. He's coming out. He'll do whatever he said. He just wants to have a good time. And he's so excited right now about driving that 3-car, and being back in the late model stock world.
And it's been over 20 plus years that he's been here at Florence Motor Speedway. He used to race back in the day with Robert Powell and the Powell family, and race here at Florence Friday night, Myrtle Beach on Saturday night, so many times. So again, there's a lot of history of Dale Jr. racing, competing here at this racetrack as well. And you think of what you also just mentioned of what Dale Jr. is doing. I gotta say, and I said this when I came on the air, props to the media. Because I've heard NASCAR talk about it. It's all over media on social media. Dave Moody, SiriusXM Speedway, has had Dale Earnhardt Jr. on since Monday, all at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, to talk about this race, to talk about short track racing. The morning drive, SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, all of the media affiliates. The media is pumping this race. And like you said, and like he said, Dave Moody said yesterday on SiriusXM Radio, on Sirius Speedway, there was going to be probably a good car count, but when people found out that Dale Earnhardt Jr. was coming in here, it took it to another level. And another thing I got to add to that before we have a question in Texas from our producer. He's got a question for you, Charles. We're with Steve Zacharias. Flow Racing taking $35,000 and putting it into the purse for the South Carolina Charlie Powell Memorial 400. And it's not just all going to the winner. I got to say, big damn kudos to them for doing that as well.
Oh, absolutely. And Keen Auto Parts put in some of that as well.
Keen Parts and Corvette Parts, yes.
So they put some of that in as well. And again, it goes back to my side is, they offered the money. They said, here's the deal. We know Dale's coming. He wants us to get behind this race. And I spoke to Dale. I said, man, I just don't see us really gaining anything by putting all 30 at the top. We could have done that whole biggest race in winner's purse, but at the same time, we got 58 cars at $12,000 to win, but we got 58 cars because it's $1,400 to start. And the guys in the back half, they deserve just as much credit because you got 58 cars fighting for 40 spots, and they work just as hard as the guy winning, right? So when it's all said and done, they need to get close to covering their costs. I mean, I've always said that someday I'll write a book on the purse versus the racetrack, right? So there's such a happy medium of make sure they're happy, but we still got to pay bills too. You know what I mean? So, no, I mean, for them to get behind and call and say, what can we do? And we all kind of sat down. We came up with a structure. I had about 4 or 5 different versions of the purse, and we all said, which one looks the best? And so we came up with the one we got. I think it's a good one, and I hope the drivers appreciate it. And again, I say the driver should appreciate Dale Jr. and what he did to get that money put into the purse because, Flo was great, but it was Dale saying, hey, let's get behind this. Let's be a part of this. Let's show them what we're doing as Flo and what we're doing as Dale Jr. to make sure short track racing continues in this strong trajectory.
So, Steve, I want you to listen. Our producer in Texas, manning the board right now for Finish Line, has got a question for you. So, Charles, when you're ready, buddy.
Okay, so first off, 2 things. One,
Charles, when you're ready, buddy, go ahead.
Yeah, you got a copy? You got me? Okay, so one thing, I'm digging I'm digging the sunglasses. 2 is Wesley keeps talking about this bologna sandwich that is there. So is it thick cut bologna or what do we got here?
So it's hand cut. Let's go with that. So I actually go to the IGA next door, local store. I get a full roll, which every time I get the roll and I go to the cash register, they are confused on what in the heck I'm about to do with a full roll of bologna. And then I just take it and put it through the cutter, and that's a burger right there.
The cheeseburgers are really good too.
I worked really hard, actually. Yeah. So this is kind of a funny story. Is that so when I first opened the place back in 2020. I was out here and I had a couple cars testing, and I used to own a restaurant, which by the way, never do. Terrible idea. But I did learn a lot of things about, the restaurant business and some things that have translated to the concession. But, when I got here, everyone talked about bathrooms were disgusting and food was disgusting. So those were my 2 projects that I needed to work on, right? So I working with my neighbor's actually a chef. So I had him help me with some ideas of seasonings and how to put it in au jus and do this and that. Well, anyway, so I'm sitting here and I'm trying to figure out the right burger. I don't want it to shrink down to this, to the too small. I don't want to spend a bunch of money that's too big. So I'm out here trying 4 different burgers, and I look down, and Chris Chapman is sitting down here. And what's Chris Chapman's nickname? Cheeseburger, right. So Chris Chapman's down here. I said, oh, well, for God's sakes, I've got this figured out. I said, I'm going to take him all 4. I'm going to let Chris Chapman figure this out. So I went down to Chris, said, which one do you like? So here we are with our thick burgers. And for anyone on air that doesn't use Montreal steak seasoning or any version of it, please do so, because I sprinkle that stuff on everything. It's the red hot. Yeah, Montreal steak goes on. I put it on deviled eggs. I put it on pasta.
Put that shit on everything,
I put that shit on everything. So Montreal steak goes on it, some Worcester sauce. But again, you're here. I want people, because if the food's garbage, they're not going to go buy it.
Right.
So we got to, and again, there's a fine line. You're trying to pump out a lot of food in a short period of time, like monster trucks. So you got to have the quality versus the being able to handle it. So I think we're close. You know what I mean? And I redid the infield concession to try to make the flow better, right? So I redid a lot of the structures because I know the crowd's going to be different than before. So I want to make sure it's as efficient as it possibly can.
Steve Zacharias and myself, we've known each other probably about 10 years, I guess. And it started at Myrtle Beach. You and Bob Lutz were running Myrtle Beach together, and then of course everything changed hands. How much do what does it mean to keep the legacy alive that Charlie Powell had here at Florence Motor Speedway, what he did at Somerville, and you having the helm of now, putting on probably the biggest, what a lot of people say, the biggest race in the state of South Carolina. They were saying that at Dillon a couple of weeks ago, and even Ron Barfield said, man, I'm not taking anything away from the New Year's Bash, but holy cow, he just got the biggest late model stock car race in the Palmetto State.
Well, I put all emphasis on my family for that. With everybody from my son to my daughters, my wife, my mom, my dad. Because, I found out in January of 2020 that this was Myrtle Beach was going away. I built the schedule. I put together the 2020 schedule, full schedule, and kept
from Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, from Myrtle Beach, and it kept dragging on, and he said, "Let's think about it. Let's talk about it." Well, then he calls me up to Charlotte to talk about it, and as soon as he did, he shut the door and he said, "You remember that guy that came out looking at the racetrack the other day?" I said, "Oh, I know where this is going." So left that meeting, knew that it was supposed to be June 31st or 30th was supposed to be the last day at Myrtle Beach Speedway. It extended a little bit longer. But on my way home, I called my wife and I said, "Oh, here's the deal." I said, "Myrtle Beach is gone. We're technically out of a job after June."
Right.
And I said, "You know what?" I said, "Put me on speaker." So I went on speakerphone. The kids were all around. And I said, "Well, Dad's got two choices." I said, "We can try to keep this going and keep racing, or I can go be a toilet salesman somewhere and then just be home Monday through Friday."
Right.
And they immediately, was within seconds, every one of them popped up, said, "Let's keep racing." So I said, "All right." So started making phone calls, things that I knew about. You know, I've heard Charlie was getting tired of the place, and not tired of the place, but just tired in general. He always
and then there were some bad promoters.
Bad
promoters. There were some really crooked things that was going on.
So there's a lot of challenges, obviously, on our end too to push through that, right?
Sure.
So so I called Charlie and kind of got the wheels going, and here we are today. So I mean, I told you this before. It's divine intervention somehow. I hate it that Myrtle Beach is gone because I'm 5 minutes from there. You know, I still live 5 minutes from there.
That's right.
I hate to see that it's the way it is right now. But without it being gone, Charlie passes away in 2020. Now we lose two tracks because Myrtle Beach Speedway, unfortunately, the business plan for that place with what Bob had in his mind, it was going away at some point. It might not have been the year it was. It might have been a year later. Well, now all of a sudden you lose two tracks in South Carolina. So, Charlie passed away, and that's the one thing that I stick to when I talk about Charlie is I say, man, the one thing that bothers me the most, Charlie passing is the big picture, right? Like it sucks. But one thing that really, really sucks, and I think he'd say the same thing, is that we signed our deal July 6th. He died August 1st, 2020. He never saw a single race here under our realm and see 58 cars. I mean, you imagine Charlie Powell right now, if he was here.
Oh, he's smiling up in heaven right now.
If he was here right now looking over this racetrack in a full infield and everything painted and cleaned back up.
That's right.
He'd be smiling from ear to ear, and I wish I could see it on his face. But that's the part that bothers me the most about, the deal. But again, if Charlie passes, Myrtle Beach goes another month, another year, and then it goes away. Now this is gone. They're closed, and now what? So the timing couldn't have worked out any better the way it is. And again, I still say that to promote the race, right?
Sure.
Myrtle Beach Speedway was fun at the 400 for fans, but as a driver and a promoter or a guy calling a race, nerve-wracking as all get out because it's 3 wide running about 10 seconds slower than you're supposed to be because you're riding trying to pace.
That's right. That's
and
right.
it was then one guy would jump out and try to go to the front and then fall back again, and everyone, it was a cluster. So
and Myrtle Beach was Talladega style for late model stock cars because you knew it was a matter of if but when the big one would happen, and then that's when you get a 40-car cluster together and you take out half the field.
So we're here today at Florence, and I've said it from this place functions for me as a business person, as a promoter, like where I can turn the lights on, how the bathrooms are set up. Besides the size, I could use a little bit more infield. But for the most part, this place, and you can attest to it, is that it races better than Myrtle Beach Speedway did. It might not be as cool as a driver to drive by yourself because it was fun to drive as a driver when you were able to haul ass. But when you had to be 3 wide and you're trying to figure it all out, you're sweating, and you're nervous. The promoter's nervous, like I'm trying to figure out who's going to cause the wreck. Then I have to put them to the back, and if I miss it, but here they can run 2 wide. They can run just as fast on the outside. I've seen them. I mean, you'll see Ryan Galinsky will be right sides along that white line all the way around this racetrack, and he'll be gaining spots. And that's going to be when everyone's at full tilt.
Hey, there's fans in the grandstand today, and you're bringing in more grandstand seating for this race this Friday and Saturday night here at Florence Motor Speedway. Just talk about the logistics that have gone into preparing for this event. And I would have to say this: you probably wish you had another week to prepare.
Oh yeah, someone asked me earlier. They said, "You ready?" I said, "Well, I'm as ready as I can get." So there's going to be things I want to do. We opened up some fencing down the other end where the turn 4 is, so that we got some grass seating. Where the chairs, if you remember, there was chairs on the concrete pad. I pulled all them up so that we gained a row of seating there. I've basically nickel and dime this place to gain 10 here and 5 here and 100 there and 20 there. And we found Charlie had some temporary seating outside that we're going to start bolting together to the side of this thing and gain another about 150. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but as you do 10s and 20s and 50s, and as long as we had 2,800 people here the other day for monster trucks, and it wasn't. It could have. If we can get the fans to understand, let's be friends. You know what I mean? Like
COVID is over. COVID is over.
Yeah, we don't need to spread out anymore because the more we spread out, that's when it gets difficult to get everybody in here. So we've got a number that we're stopping at ticket-wise. We're at about halfway to that right now. So I figure during pre-sale we'll get to that point and we'll cut off tickets to make sure that it's as comfortable as we can in the grandstands.
It's awesome seeing fans just coming in here.
That's Danny Johnson. Danny owns a company in town. He's actually the one that gave us all that aluminum for the grandstands.
That's
so
awesome.
When we first got here, it was all wood. Everything in the grandstands seating was wood, and it was falling in. And poor Charlie, he would take, if there was a broken board, he just put a new board on top of a broken board and screwed it to the old board. So I had to take down all the wood, and then he gave us these, which they came from Kansas Speedway when they were tearing down and downsizing Kansas. These are the aluminum seating from Kansas.
And by the way, you'll see it on Friday during the Finish Line Chicken Bone Alley collaboration podcast of the qualifying pill draw show. But you've got like grandstands and standing area for people to, congregate and talk and drink and, have your favorite adult beverage or soda, sit in the grandstands. All of these vehicles will be moved. And you've got heaters to try to keep this place heated. It's not cold, but it's definitely November weather here on the 17th of November today.
Of course. And if Wesley can tell you this also, is that I like to party. So when it comes to a chance to have my own band and have a beer with everybody, and I wanted to make sure it was as cool as it could be. So
how fun is that going to be? Where did the idea come of wanting to do the pill draw?
So I wanted to get the fans to be able to interact with the drivers. Not even so much interact, but put a face. Every time that they go out there, a lot of times we get caught up where you can't even get the driver to stand in front of the car to wave at the fans. So they don't even know what they look like. They don't know their personalities. They don't know, they just see cars, right? They don't get to say like, I want to root for this guy because of whatever. So I wanted to give the fans and the drivers the opportunity to get in front of people. So how do you do that? Is that you got to force the drivers to come, right? So you don't want to force them and make them say you have to do this otherwise. Right. But if you give them a thing they have to do that's important to the process, so by drawing for qualifying, that's something that's important. They want to not be the first one out and they want to be the last one. So by saying if you don't come, you're first one out regardless.
That's right.
And if you do come, then hopefully you're the last one. But
now, what are they going to pill draw?
We got some chip. We got paper clips and stuff we're going to draw from. We were going to do balloons with confetti, but I just don't feel like cleaning it up because I said I'm the judge and executioner when it comes to a lot of things, whether it's toilets
I think the lights and the fog machines enough. We don't need anything more than that for sure.
So we're going to draw that stuff. We're going to have the band's going to play a set, and then we'll do 10, 15, and then we'll go back to a set from the band and a 10, 15 draw. We're going to get Dale's going to come up, so I'm sure everyone's going to have their chance to kind of say hi to him. So it's going to be cool, man. I'm excited that finally we're to a point. I feel comfortable now saying the show is here. The show is going the way I want it to. Again, there's some things that you'll never see that I would have wanted to get to that would have made me feel better about a few things, but it's not going to affect the show, right? Man, I'm just looking forward to it. Thank you for bringing your talents here and bringing the whole crowd.
Been a pleasure.
We're looking forward to a good weekend. I mean, Thursday's pretty easy.
Next year looks to be really explosive. I mean, really, you finish up here and then you have the holidays. You're right back to racing again with the Icebreaker in February. There is no off season anymore.
No, the Icebreaker, because we're doing our banquet on January 14th down at Myrtle Beach for our season long stuff.
Gotcha.
And then the Icebreaker comes up first week of February, and he plans on coming. Just depends on how things play out for him. Obviously, we'll see how this weekend goes.
Oh, Junior, really?
He's planning on running. So if that's the case, it'd be two good, pushes and get the fans back.
Sure,
and again, the one thing about him coming this time that has been, again, I've worked my butt off to get to where we're at, and I've done a lot of things I wasn't planning on doing this quickly, but it has gotten me to a point where hopefully in the offseason I'm not doing the things I was planning on. So I can actually finally kind of step back, go hang out with my family. My kids are starting to do things, playing basketball, and baseball tryouts are coming up, and so I want to be a part of that and not be the guy that's just working his tail off and missing his kids growing up.
Charles in Texas, you got one more question for Steve Zacharias before we end our segment and we try to go back down to the pits with Terry Radford before we close out our afternoon show.
Sorry, I was eating a sandwich. I don't think I got none. Listen, And I got to know where you got them shades from. But other than that, I think I'm in a food coma at the moment.
He's digging your shades.
I know. So the funny story about the shades is that I ran Martinsville, and the car that my cousin's driving out here is the one I ran at Martinsville.
The
and
21 car.
Yeah, and it's red and he's got that chrome red to it, right? Sure. So before I went to Martinsville, I bought these because they matched the race car.
Right.
So I'm standing there, and my wife, she hates that I buy sunglasses in general, especially expensive sunglasses, right? So we're standing next to the car. She goes, your sunglasses match the car? I was like, no, that's exactly why I bought them. I didn't buy them for any other. My other ones were just fine, but I just wanted to make sure I paired up with the car.
Speaking of that, are you going to race anymore? Will you race anymore?
Sure. I'm just as dumb as the rest of us. I mean, I tell the story that in 2004, I ran the very first North-South shootout race in a modified at Concord. Yeah. There were 64 cars. I qualified 8th. There's some stuff. I ended up starting at the back, whatever. I finished 13th, right? From 2004 to 2017, I never touched it. I didn't have the draw for it. I really didn't have the money for it, so I wasn't going to go chasing it, right? So 13 years of absolutely no racing, sure. And I was fine with it. Well, then Terry passes away in 2017, and then 2018 we come up with this idea that, 2017 I drove his car during the memorial race of him. I drove it during practice because Terry's dad, who actually Bimbo passed away this year also, but Terry's dad said Terry wouldn't want his race car going to a racetrack and sitting there and being looked at. It's got to make laps, and there's only one person he'd want to make laps in it, and he looked at me. I said, I got it. Let's go. So I went out there. We practiced, and then from there I drove a super truck the next year, won the championship at Myrtle in his honor because he was leading the championship points. And then all of a sudden, so from 2004 2017, nothing. 2018 and then 2019, I'm going to run Martinsville. What kind of sense does that make? Right? Like, so I run for no time, never run a late model stock in my life. And I'm like, you know what? It'd be a great time to go run a late model stock, the biggest race of the year at the biggest track of the year at Martinsville. So the first year, I missed it by one spot. I actually had a good qualifying lap. This year it was a little bit of a struggle. I mean, I told someone the other day, I don't know how much time we got, so stop me this.
No, you're good. Go. Take all the time you want.
I don't have my phone. So that's one thing. He wants to know where he's parking, so I'll go to him here in just a second. I guarantee it. So, what I was going to say is, so during that the practice session at Martinsville the other day, there's 92 of us out there, right? And they go out, and before we used to have that practice session the week before, you'd have time to kind of get your bearings about you, go out there, just get back. For me, I hadn't raced a late model stock or a car in general since 2019 at Martinsville. So 2022. I come back, and I'm going to run a late model stock with 92 late models. And so I go there, and I'm not nervous. I'm as good, like I said, wasn't done it before. I'm okay with it. But I go out, and I'm trying to find myself, right? Yeah. And there's 92 of us trying to race there. My eyes were going 100 miles an hour. I felt like, one of those TV, like Christmas Vacation, like, go around. Just go around. Give me a second. I'm trying to find fourth here. Hold on a minute. Let me get to fourth. I hadn't even sat in the car until I went through qualifying.
Driving a late model is different than the modified, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's like I said, modified. I didn't drive one since 2004. It's been a while. I love modifieds. I've done my best to get them here as many times as I can, just for my own personal sake. But no, it was fun. Martinsville's cool, man. It's the only place I can go and just be a driver.
Sure.
Right? Like if I go to Southern National and I drive the Thanksgiving Classic, I know I'm going to try to help Mike. I'm going to help Mason, because that's just what I do.
Michael wants the stage that we're on. He wants you to bring that damn stage to
I don't know if it's going anywhere. But so like when I go to places like that, like I know the promoters and I want to be a part of it to help to make sure if I see the tire line and it's backed up, I'll go mount tires for them just because. And Mason does the same thing. Mason's going to be over here helping at some point, I'm sure. Yeah. But Martinsville is I'm just a driver.
That's right.
No one asks me a question. No one says anything. It's just me showing up with my family. We get to have a good time. My kids this year was cool for me because with my son racing Bandoleros now and trying to make his way up.
He won the championship over Zacharias here this year.
Yep. Yeah. So he, with him getting involved in racing and seeing it different than the last time I was there, when we went last time, he would have been, so it was 12 years, so it would have been, he'd be 8 years old, something like that. And when we went the first time, he didn't know anybody. He was sleeping in the grandstands. This time, he just started racing 2 years ago, so now he sees it different. His eyes are a lot bigger. It was cool for him to be a part of it, and for me too to have him right there with us. So
what is the future? By the way, the late model stocks are back on track again for practice here. What is the future? No, I'm sorry, it's still limited late model. And how about this young kid, Tristan McKee? This kid's something else.
Oh, absolutely.
But the question again for you: what's the future of Florence Motor Speedway with you and Jacqueline at the helm?
Oh, it's bright. I'm excited about next year. I mean, we're getting to a point where we're hopefully going to change hands, because currently I lease to own, and the process has been in works. Because again, I came from being a general manager at Myrtle Beach Speedway to just taking this on, and it worked out with Charlie, because Charlie he kept telling me, he said, "Man, I'm 83 years old. I'm tired. I just can't do it anymore." And he wanted to see this, right? He wanted to see this. So he said him and I just worked it out. Said, "All right, I understand your position. I'm going to make this work." That was Charlie. So I said, let's do it. So him and I kind of went hand in hand on the negotiation side to make sure that this is going to work for everybody, that we can fall into place at some point. And obviously, times are tough. Things are different. So it's taken a little bit longer. But no, it's the family, I got the place at least through 2023, no matter how this plays out. But I have it in all intentions my first year to be under our name and under the Speedway Plus production banner. And, then from there, it's head down and keep digging. Because, out of all my kids, I got one right now that's really looking at, she loves being a part of the production side, right? Yeah. So hopefully I can get her behind it and then transition at some point and let her run the place. So, I'm excited. I'm not going anywhere. People, I know times are tough. I know tires are tough. I know it's a challenge, but I'm up for the challenge. And we'll be sitting right here in 2000. Hopefully, maybe even I'll dress her up a little bit more for next year's show.
But definitely, it looks really, really good. And I think in closing, the number one thing is team. You got to have a team of people, whether it's being whoever's working on those race cars, whether it be you and Jacqueline running the racetrack, the people that you have in place, whether it's the flagman, the race director like Shane Laws, John Spence, Zach, and all that he's doing. It takes a team of people. It's a well-oiled machine. A lot of people don't realize that it's a team effort of everybody working together to make these things happen.
Absolutely. So, yeah, and again, it goes to my family, too. I've got everybody. I mean, the other day I had Toby Milligan, one of our limited guys, was out here helping me build this, and he helped me build a third tier over there. And Brian Doc Hicks, we call him Doc. Brian Hicks was out here, and he's been busting his tail to clean the hills and help me build grandstands and do whatever he's got to do. And, I think it's cool because everybody in this area loves racing, loves the racetrack, and they're getting behind it and saying, "Hey, what can we do to help you?" And so again, to your point, it takes a team and it takes a village sometimes too. So we got the village and then teams behind us with like I said, my mom, my dad. We got Brian Voss here back with us helping out this weekend from Myrtle Beach Speedway, and just ecstatic that it's here. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I'm not looking forward to Sunday when it's over, but no, it's going to be a great weekend. So far, so good. We got beautiful weather. I mean, it's a little chilly, but again, it's November, so I will say that last week it was 75. I said, can it just wait one more week? Just one more week.
And it's rained 2 or 3 days this week. It rained 2 or 3 days this week, so. Definitely. If you aren't coming out to the Charlie Powell Memorial South Carolina 400 weekend, we do encourage you to bundle up, bring a jacket. There will be some fire things here, fire pits around here. And, of course, enjoy the food, the festivities. Got one more question. We'll go to break after this question. There's a go-kart track that is I helped build that damn thing when Charlie started it. Right. My first car I ever had, one of my first cars, I blew a piston on the road. And it was one of the Packer cars for this go-kart track back in the day. I think it was back in 2009 and 2010. What's the history of the Florence Kartway?
Well, what the history is, I'm not 100% sure. I just know
the future.
The future is to, I've always said since we got here, everyone tells me about it's a gold mine. There's going to be hundreds of go-karts, which, whatever, everyone thinks this is a gold mine too, but it's different than the behind-the-scenes version. But
that's right. No, you're true.
Yeah, but anyways, the idea has always been get this right first, because I can't take on 2 challenges at one time. Get what I know right first, and then start sliding over to that side and get it right. Because a lot of people tell you, and I've said this since I started messing with it, is that I have a new appreciation for asphalt racing because of the fact that if it rains, we don't race. If it's dry, we race, and every once in a while I clean it. That thing right there, pack it, grade it, till it, drag it, water it, then pack it again, then drag it again. I mean, it's a challenge, and I haven't had a race yet. But I'm building. I got the timing
It
loop
looks like
in.
it's ready for a race today.
Oh, it's not far.
Looks like
No,
it's
I got
definitely packed in and tailed well.
I got it smoothed out. I've got the timing loop got put in a couple weeks ago. I got to rebuild the flag stand and make a control tower for the computers and the timing and stuff.
Yes. Make it safer.
Yeah, I got a few things I got to do tire-wise, put some banners up. But I'm going to have, before too long, there'll be an open practice where we'll get guys out there, try to tell me what they like, don't like, be honest with me without being a dick about it. Just come out and so give me a chance to learn, because again, I don't come from dirt. I come from asphalt from start to finish. Right. So I'm gonna need them to teach me a little bit, and I'll learn as we go. I've had too many people come tell me about how let me do it. I'm like, oh, go do it then. It's right there. Just go do it. And no one shows back up. So I said, you know what, screw it, I'll do it. And so I'm going to figure it out myself. It's a challenge, but I'm up for it. And with that being said, if you can go, I'm going to go get Boo Boo in, because I know that's what he wants.
Let's get Steve Zacharias. Let's get Terry to cross over as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go get Boo Boo in the racetrack. So it's nice. Thank you guys for everything. Looking forward to a good weekend. I'm sure we'll talk again.
We'll take a quick break. One more final segment from our first show from Florence Motor Speedway. That's Steve Zacharias here at the South Carolina 400.
Your CRN, my CRN, our CRN. We are CRN. The Community Radio Network now and the new WCRN 87.9 FM. And still always anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN. Welcome to the Community Radio Network. Follow us always via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the new CRN 87.9 and still anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
Your CRN, my CRN, our CRN. We are CRN. The Community Radio Network now and the new WCRN 87.9 FM. And still always anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN. Welcome to the Community Radio Network. Follow us always via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the new CRN 87.9 and still anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
Your CRN, My CRN, our CRN. We are CRN. The Community Radio Network now and the new WCRN 87.9 FM. And still always anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN. Welcome to the Community Radio Network. Follow us always via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the new CRN 87.9 and still anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
Your CRN, my CRN, our CRN. We are CRN. The Community Radio Network now and the new WCRN 87.9 FM. And still always anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN. Welcome to the Community Radio Network. Follow us always via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the new CRN 87.9 and still anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
Your CRN, my CRN, our CRN. We are CRN. The Community Radio Network now and the new WCRN 87.9 FM. And still always anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN. Welcome to the Community Radio Network. Follow us always via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the new CRN 87.9 and still anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
Hey, welcome back to coverage of Finish Line Live Motorsports Show here from the Florence Motor Speedway.
You found me.
He's got to charge up his life. Okay, that's all I know. We got the technology, the things that we have, though. But hey, we'll come back with his battery pack recharged and ready to go for the second show coming up at around 5:30 Eastern time. We're probably going to go from 5:30 to 7:30 because I have just been informed that I don't have to do the IndyCar iRacing broadcast tonight.
Even
so that's
better.
awesome. So we welcome you back. He's Terry Radford. I'm Wesley Outland. We are here from the Charlie Powell Memorial South Carolina 400 Weekend NASCAR sanctioned event, and awesome interview with Steve Zacharias. Terry, did you catch any of the things that Steve was talking about?
I caught the whole interview. It's awesome to see the renovations they've done to it. I walked the grandstands.
I can't even tell from here.
I walked the grandstands over there, walked up and down them, very solid, sturdy. When I got to walk around the racetrack, I got over there. The backdrop there is cleaned up. The grass is all pulled. The track's really clean. If you think about this, some of the tracks in the world where they have to be plucking weeds out of the center of the racetrack, they didn't do that here. It's very clean. This is a very, I mean, just the walls going inside the pits, going inside the area of the racetrack. Very well organized place, and what an awesome event. These cars on the track, these drivers are excited. They're very amped up. You got Josh Berry driving the 3 right now, trying to get going.
Dale Jr. is not going to be here until after 6 p.m. Eastern time. That's exactly what we were told via text from Steve Zacharias while we were here at the studio here on the set. Around 6 o'clock, he'll be here. And honestly, the plan was to have Josh Berry shake that car down anyway, because that same car, if it doesn't get wrecked, tore up from the floor up this weekend in the South Carolina 400, is scheduled to be the car that Josh Berry will drive at the $50,000 to win Thanksgiving Classic at Southern National Motorsports Park in Kinley next Saturday.
Well, let's be real. Who's going to tear that car up? You want to be the guy that wrecks Dale Jr. at Florence Speedway when he showed up to put more money on the pot? Nah. Hey, all of these drivers, and that's such a good driver to bring to drive your car. Josh Berry, very good late model driver, very good Xfinity driver.
For sure.
Very good across the board when it comes to all disciplines of racing. I saw Carson over there with his dad, Travis. I walked up and down. You could feel the energy, Wesley. The energy was electric. They knew that this race had a lot more meaning in it because of, well, it's the Charlie Memorial. You're racing for him. Zach did a great job with this racetrack. His wife, Jacqueline, did a great job as well. A very good interview with him up here on the actual stage, getting to hear him. He had a lot of insightful information, and I hope we're back here next year, Wesley, to cover the same event here and be a part of the energy and the atmosphere. I mean, the fans can't see what's behind us back here, but you got official merchandise trailers. You've got people all over this place showing up. Get ready to go. Sirius XM has promoted this all week. NASCAR's promoted this all week. There's Matthew Dillner's here already. I ran into Matt in the infield. He had a conversation with me. Flo's represented out here, ready to get the broadcast going, looking at practice. This is a monumental event, and the roar of those cars sitting on pit row when they come by me was just like, whoa, hey, that's a lot of horsepower.
Yeah, it's a thrill, it's a rush. And as you heard from the promoter, Steve Zacharias, without a doubt, he's ecstatic for sure. Charles, what's your take of things in the production studio in Texas, man? It's very fun here in Florence, South Carolina. This is an historic week, an historic weekend, and an historic event for Live Sim Racing Productions, or LSR Productions, Rockin' Racing Media. So many people that are a part of making this thing happen here in Tennessee.
I'm just stoked again to finally see two announcers in the same spot, whether it's sim or real racing. So, and we still got a whole weekend left of it.
Well, I was going to say that we were in the same spot last night at the hotel room doing the iRacing broadcast, and then we had a ball at Waffle House.
That's right. We had an amazing time at Waffle House. If you're watching this right here,
and what was it? Kylie Joe?
Joe, yeah. If you're watching and you're coming to the Florence, South Carolina area to come to this racetrack, and you'll stop at the Waffle House right next to the Florence Civic Center.
That's right.
You are absolutely missing out on a great time. Our favorite people are going to be there from 2 to 9, and then 9 to about 4 in the morning. You don't tell them Wesley and Terry said you were going to be there. I don't know what our dinner plans are tonight. I think it's the racetrack because we're going to be here until 1 in the morning. We'll be sitting here calling the iRacing event. So
either we're going to be upstairs in the press box.
It's going to be cold down here.
Freezing our ass off, or we're going to have one of these heaters on so we can stay warm here calling the race. But,
he's got more cushion than I got. I need a sweatshirt on.
Charles, in all seriousness, though, man, it's amazing to see where LSR Productions, live sim racing, real racing, virtual racing. You see iRacing on cars in the pits. You see guys like Ty Majeski, Josh Berry. They cut their teeth in iRacing. Carson Quapple driving an iRacing car. I'm going to throw the gauntlet down. I'm going to ask Dale Jr., can we get Florence Motor Speedway on the iRacing simulator?
Well, yeah, and I actually clarified my comment what I said. I didn't say that they were practicing on the Speedway when it came to this. They were practicing these cars. They're out there driving these cars, getting ready to go. You think of Hickory, you put these cars on Hickory, it kind of has similarity. Yeah. They practice the cars on iRacing to get more knowledge, to gain more experience in these things. Florence is not on the iRacing service, in which there should be, because this is a historic event. This is a historic track, and just, I mean, you can feel energy on a Thursday. Yeah, it is Thursday.
It's electric,
and they're not here yet.
No, and there's fans in the stands. So that's what's so damn cool.
Already watching the race. Yeah. They're here in the stands, getting ready to go. I've actually talked to a couple fans that were inside the pit, and I asked them. I said, "What is the biggest thing you look forward to?" And it was all Dale Jr. Everybody was like, "I can't wait to see Dale Jr. race in the 3." That is a beautiful car sitting out there. I've got that diecast car sitting at my house right now, the Bass Pro Shop number 3. And to see that and to be able to up close and personal with it, that's massive. That's massive for racing.
I just want to emphasize on something as well. You saw me zooming in earlier. By the way, camera operator, I am not, okay? I'm not a camera operator. But we saw the hauler. We saw the hauler behind us. That ain't no $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 motor trailer or a 52-foot NASCAR Cup Series trailer. That's a grassroots, featherlight, Freightliner hauler that you would carry to a local short track across America. Not trying to show off, not trying to have the big fancy equipment. Getting in here truly grassroots as it gets with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, you walk up and down pit lane, you look at all the other haulers that are out here. There's other people that have bigger haulers than him that have the ramps to pull you up and down to get you to the top of the trailer to pull the car in it. He didn't come out here and show out, but he helped energize this place. That's right. He helped put more people out here to watch this race. You heard Zach talk about that, or Steve Zacharias talk about people texting him, can I get tickets to the Dale Jr. race? Sure. That's the energy he brings. He brings the short track feel back. You think of Carson Quapple back there. You think him and his dad don't bring energy out here too? You're racing for iRacing. iRacing's represented here. There's an iRacing cameraman and photographer taking pictures of these cars, getting excited, building excitement from the iRacing world, from the virtual world to the real world. It's covered across the board here. I'm ready for our next show because hopefully my battery pack's charging enough to walk up and down pit road.
We just got to work. Your battery pack, you did a good job. You got to work on keeping the camera there.
I didn't realize I was 6'3" and all the other drivers is about your height. So I got to work on the height difference here.
Well, you just gotta. You're doing good though. You did good.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're having fun. That's what it's about. Having fun.
No doubt.
It can be a little stressful at times. I know we were a couple of minutes early coming on the air, or a couple of minutes late is what I meant to say. A couple of minutes late coming on the air. But you can ask Charles. You can ask Terry. I say this all the time emphatically in anything that I ever do. I would rather be late than to put something on the air that's a bad product and have audio issues or technical issues. And you saw all the stuff that we had to do to set up all this stuff.
But you got to thank the fans. All of this right here is for nothing if people don't tune in.
That's right.
I saw fans tuning in. You saw people sharing it to Florence, sharing it to to all these racing pages. That's what it's about. You share this. It's not about if I'm on the show, you're on the show, who's out here behind us on this. It's about the fans that tune in that want to.
It's about promoting the event.
It's about promoting this event. It's about getting fans to tune in. It's about getting fans in these grandstands. If Florence Motor Speedway sells out and you're in this local area and you need a ticket, they're still on sale. There's seats available to come sit here.
Till midnight tonight. Till midnight tonight. Yes.
There's still time to get a seat to come watch.
That's right.
One of the greatest races in all of motorsports, here.
And in addition to this race, you've also got the Thanksgiving Classic at Southern National Motorsports Park next weekend in Kinley, North Carolina. A lot of these guys, a lot of these cars will be at Southern National racing for $50,000 to win the biggest ever for an historic late model stock car event. And it's all thanks to Lynn and Kirk Ipock and Solid Rock Carriers. What Michael Diaz, Charlie Hansen, Mark Arson, Mike Ray, so many people are doing at Southern National next week for Thanksgiving. You're going to have Motor Racing Networks, Alex Hayden, lead booth announcer with Jeff Striegel on the call, along with, of course, Dave Moody from SiriusXM Speedway. Kevin Bullock and Steve Post will be in pit row doing what he does best with Postman, covering the action on pit road as lead pit reporter for the Motor Racing Network. And you can't ask for anything better than that on Sunday. And then, of course, in addition to that, the biggest late model stock car race ever. And me and Steve Zacharias talked about it, and I think I hinted on it earlier. There is a chance for somebody to possibly walk away with close to $100,000. Maybe $85,000 because you got lap money. You got sponsor lap money that's $100 a lap for a 250-lap race. You've got 3 or 4 special laps of the event at the end of stages, or the white flag or the checker flag or halfway, that's paying $500 to $1,000 or more. There's a chance to break up some dollar bills before the holiday season.
I want the taxes on that. I just want the taxes. I don't even want to race. I just want the taxes on it. But yeah, there's a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of money here. There's a whole lot of money on the line here this weekend. There's a whole lot more money on the line next race.
That's right.
When we go up there, I can't wait to watch it. I know I'll be tuned in, ready to go. I'm just in awe of this.
So what do you think of all these cars? Who is who is the favorite? Obviously, you're looking at Carson Quapple. He was fast time down there. Yes.
Well, I mean, if I walked up and down in the confidence level that I saw out of some of these drivers. Watts had a really good car. He was really fast. The 63 looked really good. I talked to him after he got off the racetrack for about 10 or 15 laps. He said it handled really good. They also made a spring change.
Yes.
That was kind of huge. I saw a lot more spring changes
Barry's
going on.
about to come out again.
There's Roberts. The 3's coming back.
That's David Roberts.
A lot of these drivers made a lot of shock changes and a lot of spring changes. There was a lot of stuff going on pit road. People cleaning up their tires, trying to get out here to make another run. You see the 5 coming back out, trying to make one run. A lot of actions happening around us. And it's a little harder to keep up than what I thought.
Josh Berry bringing back out the number 3 for Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. And again, their practice session's going on.
He was 6th on the speed chart in that 3 machine. So if that tells you any kind of speed Josh Berry's got in it, I want to see what Dale's going to do in it.
Yeah, it looks like they just updated session number 2 for the NASCAR late models. Mark Wirtz, our buddy out of Virginia.
He was fast.
He has set a fast time with a 17.964. Wow. Sam Yarborough, 17.970. Ryan Millington, Carson Quapple, Zach Miracle, your top 5. Ryan Glinsky, Jacob Hebner, Jamie York, Brendan Queen, Butterbean, and Matt Cox, the top 10.
Well, you look over there at Ryan Glinsky. He was good, but you look at 11th, it was Kate Hedinger.
Keddy Hedinger.
Yeah, sorry. And Tristan McKee, Riley Gentry, Jamie Weatherford, Mason Diaz, Craig, Cody Kelly, Isabella Robusto just jumped down the board. Whitney Meggs down there 20.
3 females in the top 20.
That's massive. That is massive.
That's pretty cool. 3 females in the top 20. Not counting also Landon Cumbleton, Martinsville winner from last year. Blaze Brinkley, Caraway Speedway, late model champion of last year. Justin Milliken, a former champion at Adam Shalom at Myrtle Beach Speedway in late models. Austin Samaro, we know him in street stocks. He's moved up in the late models the last couple of years in the top 25. Riley Music, Mike Dorn, Kate Brown, Florence Speedway late model champion. This year is 28. Bobby June, David Roberts, Anthony Adams, Justin Whitaker, Dylan Smith. 36 of 57 drivers here right now, and more will be coming in overnight tomorrow, leading up to all of the excitement. There'll be practice tomorrow. There'll be on-track activity tomorrow. By the way, upper right of the monitor there, let me change up my position. There we go. Got to do it that way. My right, your left. My left, your right. Watch the race on Flow Racing. That's the only way to check out the broadcast coverage as a subscriber to Flow Racing and Flow Sports. We'll have a special show along the way. We'll come back here in a little bit, but we might need to set up the lights. It might be nighttime when we get this show started at 5 o'clock.
I'm going to wear a sweatshirt.
We're going to come back at 5:30 Eastern Time with our final recap of practice, updates, reports, and more from Florence Motor Speedway. Thank you to everybody for joining us. Charles, have you got anything else you want to add, my friend? Great job in Texas running the board here for the broadcast this afternoon.
No, but break out the lights because I think it'll be dark too.
Break out the lights. We're only getting started. The party's not over yet. It's the South Carolina Charlie Powell 400 Memorial Weekend. Florence Motor Speedway, FMSpeedway.com. For more information, NASCARRoots.com, at LSRTV, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, at CRN Sports, at Fox Sports Radio, #Finish Line Live. For Terry Radford, I'm Wesley Outland. We'll be back from Timmonsville very shortly as Practice Thursday rolls along in the 30th edition of the South Carolina 400. God bless and thanks for tuning in. Archives and replays up in a bit.
Your CRN, my CRN, our CRN. We are CRN. The Community Radio Network now and the new WCRN 87.9 FM. And still always anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN. Welcome to the Community Radio Network. Follow us always via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the new CRN 87.9 and still anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
This episode is an exclusive production solely for the private, non-commercial use of our listening audience. Any publication, reproduction, transmission of the accounts without the express written consent or permission is restricted and prohibited. To hear this replay or other previous podcasts, download on iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, and TuneIn. As always, this show is for you. Thank you for listening.